Yeah, I'm Kat Kuchar. I'm head teacher at Jubilee Park Primary School in Newport. I think in terms of how we've approached progression in our curriculum, goes right back to the beginning. And I think for us as a school, it's making sure that we are focused on learning. It sounds silly saying to be a learning focused school, but actually that's what we need to be when we're talking about progression. For me, our school vision, our curriculum and our professional learning all work together to make sure that we have progression right in our school. And then that all starts with our curriculum design. At Jubilee Park, this process started back in September 2017 when we actually opened as a school, and we've been developing over the last 4 years our Thrive curriculum, which reflects all the key aspects of Curriculum for Wales. Assessment is central to our curriculum design, and I think when we're talking about purpose and purpose for assessment and progression, it's about, for us as a school, it's for children to thrive in a transforming world, hence the name of our curriculum. We see curriculum and assessment as working as one, not either or, and it's definitely not one feeding the other. And when we're talking about progress, we don't follow a set metric, as we previously have done as schools in terms of like levels and outcomes. We really talk about each individual child and how they are making that progress in learning. To enable us to have those conversations involves a lot of processes within our school, and to enable that to actually happen, obviously we need great communication, we need clarity, and we also have to be willing to refine that process over time. And I think that word refine is really important when we're talking about progression. And for us, we're looking at our progression obviously from nursery to year 6. We also have a learning resource base within our school where progression looks a lot different for those type of children. But also we're looking at that year 6 to year 7 progression. That's actually crucial. We're part of a wide cluster here at Jubilee Park, and we're developing our cluster curriculum design to support that too. When we're also talking about progression, I think pace is really important to acknowledge. For us, it's not about ticking things off a list, not about looking at level criteria and saying, yes, we've done that, they can do it, let's move on. It's actually about building a spiral approach to learning where things are revisited and really having that slowliness approach to learning. For us, all of this hinges on professional learning and development. And one of the things we've found is we've had to create that space and time for all of our staff, and that's teachers and TAs. We've been through a huge process over the last 4 years on developing our curriculum design, making sure that we've got a thorough understanding of the 4 purposes and what progression towards the 4 purposes looks like, but also what it looks like in terms of what matters and descriptions of learning, how we're making sure that we're looking at it in detail. Our understanding has evolved massively over the last few years. And I think in our first year, assessment was very much focused on feedback, and we would still be using our outcomes and levels. But since December 2019, so for the last 2 years, we haven't used any outcome or level criteria. And since then, we've really engaged in dialogue to refine our understanding of progression, moving away from that best fit approach, and which was driving our planning, to genuinely using professional judgment and understanding what progression looks like across our school.
Sianas Ashton ydw I, a dwi'n bennaeth adran yn Ysgol Alun yr Wyddgrug. Ar hyn o bryd, da ni'n paratoi ar gyfer raglen beilot blwyddyn 7, a fydd yn cymryd ei le dros gyfnod o 6 wythnos ar draws yr ysgol gyfan. Trwy weithiau ar draws ac o fewn y meysydd dysgu a phrofiad, da ni fel staff y celfyddydau mynegiannol wedi penderfynu mabwysiadu dull aml ddisgybliaethol, lle da ni gyd fel adran wedi penderfynu rhaglen yn seiliedig ar yr un thema. Yn y sgyrsiau cychwynnol wrth drafod dilyniant, wnaethon ni edrych ar sut y byddai dysgwyr unigol yn symud ymlaen trwy camau cynnydd. A wnaethon ni hyn trwy gyfeirio at y wahanol gyfleoedd ar gyfer dilyniant. Fel grŵp, gawson ni gyfle i feddwl ac amgysylltu a wahanol syniadau, a meddwl llawer am y pam a sut y bydd hyn yn edrych. Pwynt arall a drafodwyd oedd cysidro sut i hwyluso dysgwyr ar wahanol gamau dilyniant. Wnaethon benderfynu gall hyn gael ei herio drwy ddefnyddio adnoddau gwahaniaethol a rhoi digon o gyfle ar gyfer gwaith grŵp a chydweithredu.
So my name's Katie Jones and I'm the head teacher of Ysgol Merllyn in Flintshire. Well, when we moved to a progression model, we weren't looking at making progress against national curriculum statements. So it wasn't like what's a level 2 to a level 3. We sort of looked at progression within, so it was a progression culture. So we did things like looked at structuring our curriculum using research see which would be the best model. So we decided on a solo taxonomy model, structured observations of learning outcomes. And within a solo plan, so we're looking at a medium-term plan, we start off by doing a pre-assessment. So we know, do the children know anything, have any knowledge about this? Do they have some knowledge? Are they able to transfer that knowledge to somewhere else? So we'll always do a pre-topic assessment. And then we work collaboratively with the children. So when we're finding out what they already know, we actually say to the children, they might be doing a topic on dinosaurs, what do you already know about dinosaurs? And from there on, you can gauge so much information before you plan. So when you're looking at progression, if children know nothing, can they build up some knowledge base and apply that knowledge somewhere else? If the children have lots of knowledge to begin with, good progression would look like for them would be how they extend that knowledge into different areas. So that's how we've written our curriculum in the last 5 years, using a solo taxonomy model to build progression in.
Our journey has definitely been filled with challenge along the way, and I think anybody moving from that system driven by accountability, which we've all been in for a number of years, to really truly developing agency for staff has been the greatest challenge. And that's a challenge whether the staff are newly qualified teachers, whether they've been teaching for 20+ years. The way we've helped to sort of overcome that is to really make sure we're working together in that open and honest culture. Trusting each other has been crucial. We've had to really focus on developing our understanding of the progression code. That has been challenging. It's different types of wording, it's different types of expectations in terms of you're not given something to say, yes, a child can and can't do that. We've really had to develop our understanding and recognise those overarching principles of progression, and then also understand how progression differs across each AOLE. We're still massively on that journey, and I think it's really important, and the greatest challenge is that this is an ongoing process. It's certainly not a task and finished job.
Rhai o'r heriau fydd sicrhau y gall pynciau cynnig dwmder ac ehangder y cyd-destun. Mi wnaeth hyn arwain ni a dewis gweithiau artistiaid Cymreig er unwaith Daniel Trifydi.
I think the challenges have been to make sure that what we want the children to learn has been quite explicit, and also sharing that with the children so they know what explicitly we want them to learn. So we have like a backwards model, so we know what the end product to be, and then work backwards to see how to move forward, if that makes sense. The challenges, I think, have been new staff who have not been used to working within a progression model curriculum. Time, especially when you're working with younger children and you're trying to find out what they already know. It's the time element that's involved in that, but it's very worth doing because then it reduces teacher workload, so they know exactly where the children are as well. So yeah, other challenges are just time and new staff, but the benefits of it have really outweighed what the sort of the downside has been.
In terms of overcoming the challenges, I think first of all, it's making sure you've got a clear vision. And I think that's something that we pride ourselves on in our school. We have a very clear vision for our curriculum. So when the going gets tough and when we're faced with these obstacles, we go back to that and say, well, what are we about? What do we actually want to make sure we understand in terms of our children making progress across the school? That drives all our behaviours and our collective action and keeps us focused on what is important. And I think the other massive thing that's been helpful is not thinking of assessment and progression as a product, but actually thinking about it as this ongoing process. And I go back to sort of, 6 words, the 6 P words that we constantly refer back to, and that's making sure we have purpose, that we're recognising assessment and progression as a process, that we really get under the skin of what progression is. And it's not just about children getting better and better and better or getting more and more information. It is actually about understanding those intricacies of learning and where children are able to do things, what support children need. And that obviously impacts upon the wider system within our school in terms of intervention and support. Making sure that pedagogy is heavily influenced as well. And I think that where assessment and progression and pedagogy meet is where teachers have that understanding of where children are in their learning journey, and then they're able to actually articulate how they're going to teach them. And those pedagogical approaches will be very different depending on what is needed for those children to make progress. Ultimately, professional learning has been the key driver. That is the one thing that I would say we have used to overcome the challenge. And I'm not just talking about a staff meeting once a week. I'm talking about an ongoing process of professional learning and development days, inset days, having weekly professional learning sessions. We don't have staff meetings in our school. Each week we have professional learning and development where the TAs stay for that as well. And I think that is crucially important. Staff meet together and have planning meetings with their teaching assistants. So everybody that's part of that child's journey of making progress is involved in those planning stages and discussing where children are in their learning. All of this is filtered into our bigger picture of reading and research as well, and making sure that our staff are prepared and have that wider reading and understanding of what learning can look like across the school. And ultimately, all of this then impacts upon practice and what actually happens on a day-to-day basis within our school. I suppose what I would say is, in terms of the assessment information that you can get on Hub and the progression codes and all of that information, when you first look at it, it can seem really daunting, but it actually is very powerful when you sit and you take that time to go through it. And I would say, as a head teacher, I firmly believe that is my job. It's my job to have that understanding and then to share that understanding and to learn with my staff as well.
Hyn sydd wedi bod y help mawr i oresgyn y heriau yw cymryd rhan mewn trafodaeth cyson a bod yn gallu cael amser i rannu syniadau rhwng bawb yn yr adran. Trwy weithio trwy'r broses yma, mae wedi caniatáu dulliau mwy wybodaeth o'r cwricwlwm gyfan.
I think working with outside an external provider for professional learning has been really helpful. Because we all had the solo planning here probably about 4 or 5 years ago. So they really help focus in, because at times you do need external providers for professional learning because they know what we're talking about. And then it's just then, we always develop, we're developing the planning. But one of the things which has been really useful is at the end of the learning topic, for want of a better word, the teachers can then look at how much learning's taking place and then discuss with the children what barriers for learning did they have, what did they find difficult. So it actually gives the teachers something to reflect upon, is how much learning is taking place during that topic.